What's up, everybody? Welcome Squad Squad and welcome to Slop Guns on Tour. I'm at SHOT Show 2023 and I stopped by the Hodgdon booth to talk about the brand new powders that many of you have been wondering about and asking in the comments. So I'm here joined by Kent. Kent, thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you.
You have blessed the gun community with the 6.5 stay ball that came out a number of years ago, and it seems like basically it was a great replacement for anybody who couldn't find H4350.
Correct.
And that really kind of like, over time, I've learned to enjoy the powder for the benefits standing up on its own rather than just being an alternative to something that you can't find. And it seems like this year I totally was caught off by surprise until one of you says, hey, can you go check out the new stable match and stable magnum? I'm like, huh? And so wanted to make sure I stop by and basically learn a little bit more about the powders and go from there. So first of all, thank you.
Okay, so as you stated, we started with the Stayball 6.5, so it's a H4350 bird speed, first temperature insensitive spherical propellant. What we did this year is we added Stayball Match and Stayball HD. So these are the second and third SKU in that temperature insensitive spherical propellant. The Match is a Varget type burn speed, and the HD is a Retumbo's type burn speed. So that's probably the more exciting one out of the two, because the large magnum hunting long range has been even less service than the, because Varget's been pretty consistent through the year, but Retumbo, that's not something that's going to be seen anytime soon. So this HD is a godsend for that.
Yeah. And especially, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. So I mean, when we're talking about like smaller caliber, so let's say your 223 market, I mean, Varget has been the gold standard, or I guess as we call it eloquently, Varget. And there's been a good amount of powder in there, but like the calibers really have been fairly stable. Yet, over the past few years, with long-range shooting, long-range hunting, we've seen massive growth in 6.5 PRC, 6.8 Western, 300 PRC. Now we have the new 7 PRCs, and all of those basically love the slower burning powders, and really your choices were 8133 or Retumbo, and oftentimes you couldn't find them.
Right. Where we had more Retumbo than 8133, 8133 is presenting itself as a challenge along with the 7977. So this is really going to be it. We're going to grow this family as the years go along, so there'll be more and more. Not to say it might be every year, but it will grow. We have data available in the new 2023 S data, as well as on the Hodgdon RDC website. There's plenty of data that covers all those cartridges that you just mentioned.
So are these powders going to be quote unquote for low data and development? Should people think of them as interchangeable with, let's say for example on the Magnum, would it be interchangeable with something like an 8133 or 7977, or is this really kind of its own unique beast?
So it is its own unique beast. The best way that I'm describing it is if you take, like for the HD, where Retumbo has an application like this. Well, HD is going to have a narrower application. So right in the middle, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of difference. If you're working your loads up on the upper fringe or the lower fringe, it may not work for you. So it's a little more focused in what it will do. Okay.
So I guess kind of like, what are the main calibers that I guess it was designed for or mostly be suited for?
It really was just looked at as, in that Retumbo burn speed, here's something that's going to work across that range, but like I said, just be more in the middle of it, not all the way out on either side.
Okay, and basically with the stability, so with the, I guess it's a ball powder, so probably would meter a little bit easier as well for people.
Yeah, so the advantage of a spherical propellant, they meter very consistently. One other advantage that a lot of hand loaders don't realize is you have lower flame temperatures with spherical propellants than your traditional cylindrical propellants. So you typically get less throat erosion, so longer barrel life out of using a spherical propellant.
So I guess people possibly for somebody is going with a little bit overboard cartridge, that would probably be a bad way. So save on barrel life just a little bit more.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Very cool. So the question people are going to have is, when are these going to be available, or are these still going to be like unicorns?
So these are not going to be unicorns. We actually did our first shipment of 1-pounders of the HD and the match last week. So they're working out into the distribution network right now.
Okay. And price-wise, I mean, are we going to be consistent, or like these can be considered like premium powders?
They're going to be priced a little bit above your standard propellants, but they're right in there with where Stayball 6.5 was at.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So Ken, thank you for taking the time to kind of going over the guidelines, and it's great to know that there's already low data available for it, so you can get a good starting point, and if you can get your hands on a guide, absolutely do that. I'm sure it's going to be in your reloading magazines that you guys publish every single year, and best of all, I mean, the best resource for hand loading is really the Hodgdon Reloading website, which the data on there is fantastic, and it's always up to date.
Correct.
Very cool. So those are the brand new powders. As always, let me know what you think. Are these going to be powders that you're considering for yourself? And leave them as a comment below. As always, thanks for watching. Keep on squatting, and we'll see you next video. Live up here. Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.